Are you sure you want to do this? There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to Three Grandmas Brave the Movies. I think
Were you waiting to make sure that it was working?
Yes, I
Welcome
was.
to
Just making sure, yeah, we might be right there. This is just going to be a chill sesh, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm a little bit sleepy. But
I just woke up.
So
This is great.
We're
This
both
is great.
sleepy for different
Yeah.
reasons.
Exactly.
But we are going to be talking about a new movie, Alien Romulus, which came out very recently.
Not just new to us in general, but new movie.
New. Yeah.
Yeah.
The franchise is not new to me.
No. New to me.
Um,
The franchise is new to me.
So, just to be clear, this is the first time you've ever seen an Alien movie. Is that right?
Yeah, I know what Alien is. Obviously, I mean, I think it's crazy we don't know what Aliens is. So I know, like, you know, the
Do you even know what
xenomorphs.
aliens are?
Do you even
Do you
know?
even know
Do you even alien, bro?
Have you even been called an alien before?
I have been called an alien before.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Yeah, it's not ever. Yeah, I know what xenomorphs are, face huggers. I know about Ripley, and that's pretty much it.
You know all the iconography, but you've never actually
Kind of. I mean,
seen
the
any
three
of
things
it.
I just told you is pretty much the extent of
of your knowledge.
the acid blood. I knew that. That was it. That was it.
Yeah. So yeah, you know the pop culture stuff.
Yeah, as
that's
far
got
as
to do with the Alien series, but you haven't actually seen any of the movies, right? So I'm a big fan of the first Alien. It's probably in my top 10 films of all time. I just think it's just a perfect film in terms of suspense, in terms of horror, in terms of sci-fi, in terms of the way the sets are constructed. I like the way they present all the characters as very working class and just going about their business until they run into something that's none of them are qualified to handle. And it's kind of similar to how they start off this movie in a way. So going into Alien Romulus, what were you expecting? What were you hoping to get out of it? And
So-
et cetera, et cetera.
I had brought this up multiple times, and you, well, especially you, because I think you would know more than Prag. By the way, R.P. Prag, you don't no longer with us for this episode.
Yeah, you can't make it. We're a man down.
Yeah, we're grandma down.
We're grandma down.
I had made a couple of comments about this movie to you, and you didn't correct me. So when I was watching it, I was like, "This motherfucker didn't let me know." So my presumption, because I asked you, I go, so this movie takes place in between the first two or second
Yes.
and three? First two, okay.
First two, yes.
Okay, I was like, how does this work when they've already experienced aliens? So now they're going back. This doesn't make any sense because based on the trailer, it's all
Yeah.
new information to them. I thought these were characters that were already existing, and the main
No.
girl, I thought that was Ripley. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I see her name, and I'm like, that's not her name. I was like, maybe she changed her name later. No,
It's completely
No.
different characters.
all fucking different. The only person that I assume is a returning character is Rook,
Right.
because
Yes.
he looked fucked up, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
That
I
was-
mean,
Probably
It
the
was pretty
worst
bad.
CGI thing I've ever seen in my life.
we'll get into that.
His
But
face was way too small for his body.
but that's just Ian Holm. Like you can't blame him for that. But you can blame for how bad it looked on certain things. But it's really funny because my brother, I showed Alien for the first time this year, and then right before we saw Alien Romulus, him and his friend, I watched Aliens with him, and his friend had that was his first time watching an Alien movie. I showed him
Yeah.
Aliens. I showed him the second one, and both of them came out of the cinema and they both thought the same thing. They thought that she was she was Ripley
Yeah.
from the first movie.
I don't know why, because they don't look the same.
No, they don't. And the actress is tiny compared to Ripley.
Mhm.
I don't. Yeah, I guess when you were asking that question, I probably should have said it's in the same universe as Alien.
Yeah, that would have helped. That would have helped. I mean, it would have made me want to watch the movie more. It just would have,
it would have gave you more context.
would have helped me with the confusion. Yeah. Scar is in chat. He asked, "What's an alien?" So an alien is a creature that isn't white. Mexicans, xenomorphs. Those aliens. That's what an alien would be.
Right. I'm not going to comment on the accuracy of that. I don't think I have the expertise or the historical.
That's right. You don't have the brown privilege like I do to make comments like that.
To make comments about that.
But back to the thing. Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting. That was my preconceived notion as far as like how this fits into the franchise.
Yeah.
But like I said, I knew about the actual alien, the species, just from
what it does,
pop culture, whatever. Yeah. So it looked good based on the previews. And then I want to say, like, I remember seeing it got like good reviews, but I wasn't entirely sure.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it got really good reviews.
Did it? Okay,
yeah. On Twitter, it got a little bit more of a mixed reaction as far
Twitter's
as
a hellscape of everything.
Twitter is a massive hellscape. Even on film Twitter, it's you get all ranges of crazy takes on film.
So this movie I probably wouldn't have seen it
if we weren't doing this,
right? Because I still wanted to see the first Alien, or the first two at least, and then kind of go into this one. But the opportunity to review something trending or something new, I did like a lot. So I was able to put together a date night with Flame last night, and then we went and saw the movie. So it was good. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I went and saw it with my family. My brother, his friend, and my dad. And yeah, we had a great time. I just I wanted to ask, did you also do this because you thought it would be an interesting contrast because I've seen every Alien except Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection I've never really had much of an interest in watching, but everything else I've seen, even the terrible Alien versus Predator movies.
Alien vs. Predator has my favorite tagline of anything ever. Whoever wins, we lose.
We lose.
That's my favorite fucking tagline for everything. I love that. It's so good.
It's up there with It's up there with In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream. Which is
it's pretty close.
The tagline with the first one. What I'm scared of now is you having seen Alien Romulus now, because this movie is definitely trying to capture the feeling of the first film, in terms of like the isolation and which is the name of the game, the isolation and the very sort of dank environment that this universe is set in, very claustrophobic, compared to Aliens, which it still has those elements, but is very much like a very bombastic action film. It still has some of those horror elements in it, but it's very James Cameron. If you catch my drift, James Cameron's very.
Even this scene right here, I recognize this scene from one of the original Aliens, where Ripley's like that, and then the alien little head comes out, and it's like licking the side of her face.
Yeah, that's from Alien 3.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Alien 3.
So I was like, this, I've seen this before. This is similar.
Yeah, like that shot behind you looks very much like Alien, like the shot in Alien 3.
Yeah.
Which is probably the one shot that movie's famous for. But the background and the styling, like the lighting and everything, isn't like that movie. It's more like the first Alien. It's like a mix of the two. And that's kind of some of the criticism that this film has gotten, is that it's it feels like a mishmash of every Alien movie.
Yeah.
in a way, including Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which at some point I want to get into and talk about, because those movies
Those are the prequels.
yes,
Okay.
they're a very weird diversion from the Alien series that Ridley Scott decided he wanted to go on. But just to get it out of the way, I was wondering, how did you feel about this? What did you think of Alien Romulus? First time seeing an Alien movie.
Before I get into that, I think I cut you off a little bit ago, but you were saying something like, "Did I jump at the chance to see this movie because I'd never been seeing this franchise before?" Or
yeah, and it'd be a nice contrast to me, who's seen all of them, and we can see, like, we can find a middle ground on the reaction to this.
So that was something that was interesting to me, and I actually brought that up to Flame because there's a the inverse of this. Before I get into the movie, there's a video I watched from this guy on YouTube. His name is Daryl Talks Games. He talks about video games and all those different shit. A lot of great long form videos, and he mentions spoilers and how do spoilers really affect your enjoyment of media. And he brought up a movie that's like very famous. I think a lot of people have seen it. The Usual Suspects. And how, have you seen that movie?
I have, yes.
Okay, yeah. So, and there's a major spoiler, obviously. And I thought it'd be funny, or it's not funny. I thought it'd be good to see that movie. I've never seen that movie, but I know what the spoiler is. I think it's pretty, So I wanted to put that to the test of, hey, I want to see this movie, knowing what the spoiler is, and seeing if I still enjoy it. You know, as much as as people not knowing it. But yeah, anyways, this is the inverse of that because I know nothing about anything. So would I enjoy this movie, not knowing what it is and stuff like that?
Not knowing what the vibe is, either.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Were there a lot of like Easter eggs and like stuff to pulling back to the first one?
Yes, there's a lot. There's lines that are very similar to what's in the first film. But beside that, like, there's some visual. There's a lot of visual harkening back to the first film as well. Like the way the circle doors, like the way they open and close. But yeah, mostly like lines, and obviously the big one is Rook. I mean, which we'll talk about him.
Yeah.
He's probably the biggest glaring issue of this film, I think, for me. But yeah, you having not seen knowing who he is or what role he plays in the first film, that was interesting to me to see how he played on your end.
Yeah, so like the movie overall, I think it was good. It was fine. There were, I had a lot of problems in the movie actually, like just which we'll get to. But yeah, again, not knowing certain things as far as like references, whatever. Rook, I did pick up that he was probably from an earlier film, but I think it's just because of the CGI, and they're like, well, this dude obviously isn't real anymore. He's probably like not whatever, whatever. So I assumed that, but he was. It was very jarring to watch him, especially to see him the first time, because he's obviously it's CGI, it's de-aged, it's like all this stuff, but his face was way too small. His face, it's way too small for his head, and his ears were. It was a mess.
And the way his mouth moved just looked like it just looked like
it looked like sometimes it looked like it looks like you could see that like the person's mouth was closed and they superimposed the mouth moving. It was weird. Like his mouth is moving, but it also isn't. It's weird. It was so weird.
And what I think really makes it stick out like a sore thumb is everything else in the film looks absolutely astounding, I think. Like, I think the rest of the film, besides him, like, set design.
Oh my God. The set design?
Yeah, the set design, the lighting, like even the CGI outside the ship when you're seeing the rings and everything, like the way they designed space and the visual art design of the film is just gorgeous and feels real and lived in, I feel like. And then he shows up smack bang in the middle of the film. It's like, what happened?
He's so out of place every time they show him.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they do. What's crazy is they do a lot of practical stuff in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff that they do in the original film where they didn't need that actor in it, but they did it still practically, and it looks fine in the original film. So I don't understand why they couldn't do it here. Like, I don't understand why they had to go the terrible CGI route, like specifically for that stuff. It feels really weird and out of place, and I don't know if some point it wasn't him, and I don't know, there were like test screenings and people were like,
well, the character isn't, or the person playing him isn't alive anymore, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if they had they just had a different actor and then they put his face on top of them.
Yeah, I mean they had to. It looks like it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't really understand. Like, it doesn't even make sense why he's like, he didn't need to be in the movie. Is the other thing he didn't need to be in the movie. He could have been anyone. He could have been any model of robot or anything. It feels based on everything else, like just how much detail they went into for this film and how much work it seems like they put into the production. It feels like something that felt mandated or forced onto them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, last minute, they were like, test audiences, they wanted someone recognizable. Let's throw him in there. You know what I mean? And they rushed it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any answers. It just feels so out of place. But in general, I think this film really works for me, at least. I like the way it starts out. I think it's I like that it starts out on the base, the colonial base. Yeah, and they're basically roaming the streets. She's with her robot friend.
Her brother.
Her brother. This is a brother-sister movie.
Yeah, that's right. It's a family movie.
It's a family movie, everyone. Take your siblings. I did. And you might get something out of it. It's a better sibling movie than Frozen, I tell you what.
Was this movie rated R?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because we have a different rating system.
Oh, you have a different
rating, Australia. Okay. Yeah, so it was MA 15+ for us, but
okay, I'm gonna look it up.
I'm not sure. Normally your R ratings.
It was rated R. Weird.
Was rated R.
Weird.
You didn't think it should have been?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I mean, there was that alien abortion scene.
It's true.
Well, not
true.
Abortion. It's
birth. It was birth.
Birth.
A legit birth.
It was a birth. It was a legit birth. Prometheus has an alien abortion scene. That gotta watch that movie.
Ooh.
But yeah, it was a legit birth, which was pretty.
When I saw that scene, and she sees her friend,
yeah.
Oh, just before we get to this point, she opens the bed and she sees her friend. I would have slid that shit right back close.
Yes, there's no way.
I saw his stomach, I'm like, nope. Slid it back in.
Send it out
for
space.
a couple. Yeah,
space it.
Fire you up to space. Yeah, that's a space baby now. Sorry.
Yeah, get out of here. But yeah, I really like the way the film opens, and she immediately tries to get her, I think her annual leave so she can go to the planet. And the lady at the desk, she's just like, no, we're just going to add another 8 years.
That was fucked up because you see the time and it goes, and I was like, shit, that's fucked up.
Yeah, like you immediately hate this corporation. You immediately like, oh, this girl's got it rough.
This corporation exists in the universe, right? Like it's a thing already established.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right. Yeah. It's the corporation that colonizes planets, basically.
Okay.
And I mean, basically the whole like moral there is they're scoping out planets, and they're cutting corners, and like, it's all about company oversight. Company oversight, trying to make a profit, and people's lives are at the expense of scientific research or whatever's profitable. Those themes are always there in these films.
Yeah.
And that's no different here. But what I liked about this film is they brought a new kind of dynamic to it, because the first film, the members are all just employees of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and they're just they're going out scoping out a new environment, and that's the main plot. They discover something. It's just like part of their daily routine, and then things go wrong. And then Aliens is different. It's the group you're with, battle-hardened colonial marines, right? And they get into some problems. So you have a different dynamic there. And then the third film's like a weird religious cult thing. I don't know what the fourth one's about. I haven't seen it. Just ignore that one. But this one, I like that it's like these scrappy kids who are trying to make it. Trying to make it in the universe, trying to make a life for themselves, and they can't do it because they're under the pump of this terrible corporation. And I just like that dynamic. I like that they're just trying to scrape by, so they're trying to pull off this impossible heist. This impossible job, and they're real rough too. Like one of them's I like the really British dude who's just like a complete psycho.
Oh, the asshole one.
The asshole. He hates the robot as well.
The one that smokes a cigarette like super fast. Yeah. I hated that fucking. You know what? Did you like these characters?
I like to hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love to hate them. They're like slasher characters to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big slasher boy.
Yeah.
I like characters that are very distinct and over the top, and even if I don't. Even if I find them annoying, like I think there's an earnestness to the way that they're written. That like they're characters, you know. You can like or hate a character, but I think they work for the sort of scrappy asshole kids that they're going for.
I could not wait for every one of these characters to die immediately. I hated all of them,
really,
except for it's Alan, right? No, Alan. Was it Alan?
No, it was
what was his name?
Yeah, it was a while ago, wasn't it? The guy played by David Johnson. It's not Alan. It was, and I think he gives the best performance in the movie.
Oh my god, what a performance!
Andy, that's his name. Andy, yeah,
Android. Yeah, Andy.
Oh my god,
I don't know where this guy's from. I looked up his credits. I still don't know where he's from.
He come out of nowhere.
What a performance!
Yeah,
great.
I hope this is like a career launching film for him, because he's fantastic. Because he starts off and you don't actually realize that he's a robot, straight away. You kind of get vibes that he might be, you know, on the spectrum or something, and then it reveals that, you know, she's his robot friend, robot brother, I should say.
Brother and sister.
Brother and sister. It's a better silly movie than Frozen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but then like after he's updated, right?
His turn. Yeah.
They update him. But the turn is kind of slow and gradual.
Yeah.
Like he. You know, he looks up and I think it's really cool that they had the logo on his eyes.
God, he was like this.
Yeah.
That was creepy. Yeah.
It was like he was being possessed by the company. Yeah. It was awesome. But yeah, his slow switch from being, you know, the very passive sort of character to becoming very very useful.
Yeah.
But then he also slowly switches into not caring about humans at all.
Right.
And I love that whole dynamic, and like her becoming really upset about him losing even though he's a robot, losing his humanity, basically losing her brother. And that's what the movie's about, I think.
Well, there was a scene where like something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but something big happens, and he walks away, and the character, the main character, the girl, she looks up at him and she's like, Andy, are you still there?
Mm.
And it's just like
It's like, oh,
everything gone, because like he has that chip or whatever in him that's that upgraded
eating
him,
him
but
away. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's got giving him his new directive, which is
Hmm.
uh, company
What's
before
best for the
everyone
company?
else. Yeah, what's
Yeah.
best for the company. Yeah, because
Mhm.
originally his programming, like his dad obviously had hacked him or something,
Yeah.
or her dad had hacked him so that his programming was Rain before anything else.
Rain. Yeah.
Rain, that's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rain before anything else. But yeah, so I thought that was really the heart of the movie was
Hmm.
them,
The relationship. Yeah.
yeah, their relationship finding each other again, even if he's not
Hmm.
human. Like I really
Yeah.
like that sentiment. I actually think it's really well done, and I know a lot of people have given this movie shit because they've seen Prometheus and they've seen Alien Covenant, and
Hmm.
I don't want to spoil those too much, but those films get very philosophical and get very. I think Ridley Scott got very philosophical with them and tried to explain, like, not try to explain, but like dive into ideas of where do we come from, and if our
Yeah.
God, if we have a God, if we have a creator, and he hates us, what does that mean? And like all of these interesting ideas. Uh, and then this film, like, it's a lot more stripped back. It's a lot more just very simple. It's about two people. Um, they're brother and sister. Obviously,
Hmm.
one's a robot. I keep saying that one's a
A
robot,
robot.
but
It's a robot.
one's a robot. But it's all about them, finding each other again, making it through thick and thin together.
Hmm.
It's testing their relationship, and through this company basically fucking them over,
Yeah.
essentially. Um, and I like that. I like that it's very simple and very it hits the feels when it needs to. I think,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, yeah. How did you feel?
Um. There's one thing that I felt about this movie watching it for
Mm,
like the majority of it before it really um I think before it got into its second half, third act.
mm,
I don't know if you feel the same thing because you've seen the movies.
mm,
Um, but maybe you can see where I'm coming from. So I'm
mm.
watching it and I'm like, this feels like Dead Space.
Yes.
I was like, if
Yes.
this was a Dead Space movie, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It has that feel. The
Mm.
setting, the atmosphere, everything about this in like terms of like set design and like production on that area, fantastic.
Oh, absolutely,
This
yeah.
world was amazing.
Mm.
The
I agree with
shit,
you.
the lighting, everything was great.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you, and I think you would really come to respect the first Alien because
Okay.
I think Dead Space takes a lot of inspiration from Alien, the first
Hmm.
Alien.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like Alien was the basically progenitor. Is that the word, progenitor?
Sure.
Um,
Sure. Let's go
making
with
words
that.
up now,
Let's make word up. Who cares?
of this sort of survival horror in space
Hmm.
sort of thing. Like I think Bioshock even
Yeah.
would take a lot of inspiration from Alien. Yeah, there's a lot, but definitely Dead Space.
Yeah.
I feel like when the makers of Dead Space were coming up with Dead Space, they were like, man, imagine if Alien was like a game and it was a it
They
was a
had
whole
to have, right?
world.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
just seeing this, it feels very similar.
yeah,
And obviously, Dead
yeah.
Space is an amazing game. The first one,
Mm,
I haven't played the
mm,
second one, but yeah, first one's really good.
mm, mm.
But yeah,
Really scary.
yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie to a point, and
Okay.
then I thought the plot got a little wonky. I thought characters' motivations were weird, and
Mm.
yeah, it's just
Like the side characters made some weird decisions.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like but even some of the main characters, I'm like, stuff has happened and you're not doing certain things. And I don't know.
Yeah. Like, do you have any examples?
Um,
Either give any?
are we going to get into spoilers now? Is that what we're doing? All right.
I mean, we're halfway through. I guess we
Yeah.
can get
Okay.
into spoilers
Yeah.
now. This is the
Um,
spoiler section,
yeah.
guys. If you're watching,
The movie's worth a watch. We'll just say that if you want to. He really liked it. I thought it was. I thought this is a good movie to go see. So yeah. Now spoilers. Now we're doing it. When I felt that let me look up the character's name real quick. Tyler. Is that the guy? Tyler.
Yeah, the arsehole.
Yeah. No. That's the other guy, I think.
Oh no. Yeah.
Tyler is the love interest, I guess you would say.
Sort of
that girl. Or no, of the main girl, yeah. The one that has the sister on the thing.
Yeah.
The pregnant sister. I thought he moved on way too fast from his sister's death.
Yeah, but I mean, they're in a very survival situation, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and then fucking Andy lets his sister die, and he's just like, "Well, let's keep going. This guy's gonna help us." I don't know. That was weird. And
which part?
When like it was like right after her death, and like he moves on too fast for me, like I said. And then they just keep going, and he just keeps following Andy, which I get. He's gonna get you off the ship, he says.
Yeah,
but
he's the
it's
he's
just
the most
like
capable guy there.
Yeah, it's
like
I would have fucked that android up. Like I wouldn't even care. Like I'm dying. He killed my sister. I don't care. I'm fucking.
Would you have messed him up when he almost didn't let him through the door? Like
100%.
And
yeah.
He's like, I timed it perfectly, so he just made it through.
Oh man, that pissed me off. But they did kind of hint at that when they were showing off the gun, and he's like just pointing at Andy. He's like, "Don't worry, the safety's on." And I was like, "Is it? But is it though?
Is it though? Yeah. Yeah, there's some good dramatic moments. Like that.
I thought when they were trying to save his sister because she's not dead. They find her, and they're like, "Oh, she can survive if we give her the xenomorph DNA." And then Rain's like, "No, I don't trust this." So she doesn't trust the company. She doesn't trust what the hell this guy's doing. What Rick was saying. Yeah. But then she's like, "Hey, save yourself. Get on the pod. Put yourself into cryosleep. Also, take the xenomorph DNA with you and keep it safe because it's like just keep that." It's like, why you don't trust it?
No. I don't think that's what she was saying. She was saying just in case, if it's a last resort, like maybe it does work,
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's hedging her bets. Like she's giving her every opportunity.
It was kind of like maybe Rain thought, I don't trust this, but it's also kind of our key off the ship.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "Hey, where's that DNA? We'll let you go." But where's that
exactly.
DNA?
Rook. Yeah, exactly. Like that. I feel like it is all sort of tied, like explained. But the stuff that I really liked in this film is I feel like once they get into that red room with all the face huggers, right?
Yeah.
From then right up until the end, it just felt like a roller coaster, but a really well crafted roller coaster for me. Like I feel like everything made sense. Like it felt like when one thing happened, that action led to the next thing that like the next problem that they had.
Yeah.
And then however they solved that, there's another problem that led to the next thing. And I feel like it was really well thought out. Like I felt like everything is set up initially, and then eventually it gets paid off later. Like the anti-gravity and how that gets used.
With the blood. Yeah.
With the blood.
Acid,
I felt
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought that was super creative way to use the acid blood and anti-gravity in the film.
Yeah.
To be like, how can they get past the acid? It's just going to burn straight through the ship.
Yeah.
And they thought ahead about that. You know what I mean? Like, I really like that. Like, I feel like the structural writing. I don't want to say structural, but the circumstantial writing of this film was like really top notch. Like really,
I did like in that scene when they're floating through going through gravity because of the acid blood, and she's like trying to move through it, and she gets to that one giant spread of acid, and she just fucking shoots the gun and propels her downwards. That was so cool. I was like,
genius.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Genius. Yeah. Stuff like that was great. I
felt like the movie was kind of slow at the beginning. right before before they turned Rook on. Actually before that, before they got to the Red Room, I thought it was pretty slow. But I don't think that was it actually being slow. I thought it was more of me being like, where are the aliens at? And this is an alien movie, you know, like
where are they?
If this was like a first movie and the Alien franchise didn't exist, I don't think it would have felt that same way. But just the fact that I know aliens are there, where are they coming? You know, like I think it was more of like I'm getting antsy. I want to see the aliens now.
And I feel like you, having seen this film now, which this film goes crazy towards the end. I feel like now the first Alien is going to come across as very subdued compared to this, because the first Alien has a very similar sort of intro until stuff starts ramping up. But even then, that film is very, very I don't know how to explain it, but it builds it very slowly, if that makes sense. And I like that this film takes cues from that. I feel like it really works for this. And I just like the design of the station. Like, as soon as they get on, you see it's a big circle, and then they get on the ship, and everything is designed that way. Like, you can tell, like, each room is like curved in that way. And I feel like the geography of the film, like, you completely understand what's going on geography wise, and where they need to get to and everything. I feel like everything's really well shot that way. I really liked it. And they do create, like, I feel like a lot of people were saying, I don't like to get bogged down with what people were saying about the film. I like to have my own thoughts, but I did see that people were saying they didn't have any new ideas, and I felt like they really did. I've never seen face huggers presented like this ever. I think this is the first time I've found face huggers like genuinely threatening. I mean, I love the face huggers in the previous films, but the way they present them in this film is just like haunting. I feel like
they were a little goofy, just like kind of like sitting there and like just kind of like moving around. And I was like, I only know them from like just like jumping onto people, isn't that, whatever. So just like them, just kind of like just idling there. I'm like, oh, something kind of like a little dumb, but
like, but when they had to sneak past them, like,
that
because
was cool.
It looks like it's pitch black, and there's just like, you hear them like kind of creak a little bit.
I had a problem with that too. The presentation of that scene. So in this scene, there's a room they get to, and it's full of face huggers, and they have to get to the end of that room or the next part of that room, and there's no way around. So
and they react to sound and heat signatures.
Right. So they raise the temperature of the room to match their body temperature. The problem I have with that scene is, and it's not the scene itself, it's the presentation of it. They let Andy go first, which doesn't make any sense because they're not going to do anything to him. Right. So it's like because the way it's shot is they're all walking slow, and they keep focusing on the back of Andy as he's sneaking through, like, or he's not even sneaking, he's just walking, but it's like nothing's going to happen to him. There's no warning of these face huggers being triggered because of him.
Well, but they're still reactive to sound. Like, they still react to sound.
But even then, he in the room with the in the red room, when they initially wake up the face huggers, he's standing there and he starts freaking out, and they just crawl around him, they crawl past him, so he's making noise, and they ignore him.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, he doesn't serve as a threat, or they don't see him as a threat, so they don't fuck with him. But they were presenting it like it would be a threat to him. He's the lead, so just make sure they don't attack him. It's like, no, he should be in the back, or just don't focus on him at all, whatever it was.
It should be on the main girl.
Yeah, I mean, that was still like a crazy scene, because that's when we get the call from the guy's sister, and she's like, let me on the ship, whatever. And it's like, that was terrifying, because the fucking dude got killed by stabbing the shit out of the womb, that alien womb.
Yes. Oh my god.
That was so. I fucking hated that guy. That guy's a fucking asshole.
What a psycho, dude. Yeah. What was he doing? He took a like a cattle gun or something, and
and then he like supercharged it by plugging into the generator or whatever, and just shot the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever it is, he killed it, but nope. No.
And the other stuff I wasn't expecting from this film is, I mean, we alluded to it earlier, but the birth.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because she injected herself with
Right.
I really like the whole idea that like they were researching how to cure diseases with the alien blood or whatever, or the alien DNA. And Rook thinks it's a complete success and everything, and it's like, it's the company's hubris, right?
Yeah.
And then they reveal that fucking rat that they injected it in has turned into this like mutated, disgusting.
He had to have known, right?
I don't know, dude. I don't really understand. Like, he must have. My thought process is he sees that and he doesn't understand that that's not a success. Like that's a failure. Like, he sees that as an improvement or something.
Yeah.
So he sees that as valuable to the company.
Wait, so what was Rook being an android? Is that a thing already?
Yeah. Well, in the yeah. So in the previous film in Alien, there's another character. It's not the same name. The character in that movie, his name is, I want to say Bishop. I believe it's Bishop.
Rook and Bishop.
No, Ash. No, it's Ash. Sorry, okay. Ash. So his name is Ash in Alien. But this robot is modeled off of that character.
Oh, okay.
So, like the likeness of this robot is modeled off of that character. So, yeah. But basically, yeah, he's a robot.
Yeah.
He's a robot here. But what I was going to say, and it's a bit like, yeah, and that's the other thing is why they did it this way, because there's a robot in Aliens played by Lance Henriksen. And Lance Henriksen's still alive, so I don't really understand why they couldn't have brought him in to do it. It's just a bizarre choice. Like, it's the one big glaring issue that the film has, I think, that is just hard to get over. Because the film, like, for me, the film sucked me in for most of it, and then he just shows up, and it's like a jump scare. It's like like an unintentional jump scare. Yeah, it's bizarre.
So viewing the whole movie and the way that the xenomorphs and everything react to Andy, in my in the moment when I was watching it, I felt like right before they looked on the camera and said, "Oh shit, the xenomorphs are out there waiting for us. We need to defend ourselves," and they gave him the guns. Right before that, Andy was like, "Hey, I got the DNA. Let's get out of here." I thought, what are Andy's motivations? Because he doesn't need the Rain and the guy. He doesn't need them. He doesn't serve any purpose for them. He's not. He's just trying to get off the ship himself and deliver whatever, or he's trying to deliver things. So he doesn't need them. So I don't understand why he just like kept helping them. It didn't make any sense. And then I thought, well, maybe he needs them because they're helping him fight the aliens. But again, at the towards the very end, when he gets knocked out and he's like on the ground, he's like convulsing. The xenomorph just looks at him and just walks past him. So these aliens serve no threat to him. Yeah. So it's like, I don't understand why it didn't make any sense for me as to why he needed the humans around. He could have just waltzed through and got out. Because he has all the privileges to get through, door to door, and he can just he's uninhibited.
Yeah, the way that I saw it, and I feel like it dramatically works this way as well. The way I saw it is, it seemed like he was like, it was a slow change, right? So he's his initial programming is Rain first, right, before anything. And then she updates him, and it's like, it's a slow change. It's slowly changing him into company first. But at that point that you're talking about, he still has part of the humans first.
At that point, he had already let the sister die, and he had already said, it's for the company. Like, that's my new directive. He had already said those things. So he'd already kind of turned fully at that point.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm not sure. I
yeah.
just I feel like part of it is also you know I mean I'm just trying to defend the film that I really
No,
like
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
But part of it I feel like is workers are still useful for a company.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I feel like it's more like if it becomes too like save them if you can, but
Yeah.
if you can't, then just let them die is
Mhm.
sort of the thing.
Yeah.
Like don't overextend yourself, but if it's within your capability, like it's
Mhm.
still good to keep workers for a company alive,
Yeah.
I suppose. Like that's the way I feel it.
Mhm.
Like that's the way the company has programmed him.
Right.
But I don't know. It just I can rationalize it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I feel like the movie it didn't throw me off that much. Like I feel like if I had questions, I'd be able to answer them.
Yeah.
I had a rationalization for it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's some movies where I just can't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and I feel like this isn't one of them. I feel like it's sort of gray area. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think it does a good job at keeping it in that gray area. Like,
So
why
then what
did
about
he?
this? Why did
Hmm?
that alien save her from falling?
Which one was that?
At the very end, when she's flying up to Andy near the elevator shaft, and then the gravity turns back on, she falls, and the xenomorph in the shaft grabs her with her tail, or with the tail, and just like
Mm.
places her back in the ladder, like, here you go. And then they kind of looked at each other, and she's like, I saved you. It's like,
Wait,
what?
is that the demon baby from hell one, or is it the
No.
xenomorph?
It's a xenomorph. It's an actual xenomorph.
Oh, I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like the very end. She goes back and gets Andy. She resets him, so he's
Hmm.
Andy him again.
He's good. He's good,
Yeah,
Andy.
and then
He's her brother.
there's no gravity, so they're like,
Hmm.
we have to get up to the elevator. So or you have to get to the elevator shaft. So they fly up there, um, and then she gets caught by a xenomorph at the bottom, grabs her leg, shoots
Mm.
the hand off. So she starts floating. He's already like near the top already. So she's floating up there, and then as she's floating up, she's close to him, tries to grab him, and then the gravity turns back on. So she starts falling, free falling all the way down towards the bottom. And then right
Mm.
before she gets like halfway down, she gets caught in midair, and it's one of those xenomorphs with the tail, and just picks her
Mm.
up. And I'm like, oh shit! And she's staring at it. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna fucking kill her. That's crazy. But the xenomorph just gently places her across the ledge onto the ladder, and then just stare at each other. And it's like they're giving like a look, like,
I
and I'm
can't
like, did
remember
you
that.
save that xenomorph? Is this someone we should know? And then that
Yeah.
xenomorph kind of like disappears like in the shaft or whatever. And then the elevator comes and it kills all the other xenomorphs or some shit, whatever. And then she looks back and the xenomorph comes back out. And then that's when Andy fell down and shot it and killed it. And it's like, stay away from her,
Get
you
away from
bitch, or
her, you
whatever.
bitch.
Yeah. So I was like, you get
I'm not
saved by that one,
sure.
and then you kill it. Like, I don't understand. It didn't make any sense.
I mean, I saw this 2 weeks ago, so
Okay. Yeah.
I do not remember that at all.
Yeah.
Are you misinterpreting the scene, or
Why
is
would it
that
save
exact?
her? That's exactly what happens. It saves her, and then it places her on
Okay,
the ladder.
I need to watch the movie again, I
Oh
guess.
my god, that was crazy. Yeah, I was like, why did it save her?
Jesus. Yeah,
Because
I need to watch the movie again
it looks
because
like
I
it
don't remember
might
that at
save her,
all.
and then be like, I'm gonna get you in a minute. I just don't want you to die because I need to keep you alive. But then they
Mm.
just stare at each other, and it's just super weird. It's like, but they stare at each other with like, it has that same familiar like sense of like, I saved you. Okay, maybe you
Mm.
don't kill me like that, but then it gets killed like right away.
Well, they're going for like we're both in a tough situation
That's what
here.
it kind of seemed like. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
both like workers under the
Yeah.
oppressive.
Pretty much. But then again, fucking Andy
Like,
kills it. So it's like I don't
yeah,
understand what the point of that scene. Like I get you need to keep this character alive. Maybe they didn't find no another way. Like, it's cool, she'll free fall. Well, how do we save
yeah,
her? The gravity turns back on? No, it's
yeah.
dumb. Oh, a xenomorph saves her?
And then
Well,
when
we
he
already wrote the
kills,
scene, so let's just do that.
and then when he kills the xenomorph, he says a line that induced a major groan from me because
Yeah, so also hello
that's
toaster in chat.
I don't want
I
I don't,
I looked up
yeah.
online and I was reading people's thoughts, and someone said, "Oh, when they said the line, he didn't need to say that." And I go, "What are they talking about?" So I keep having to scroll through and see the comments, and then I figured out it was that line. And
Yeah,
and some
it
people,
was an innocuous line to you
yeah,
because you
and
hadn't
some
seen
people
the other
said,
stuff.
yeah, I understand the context. And some people go, one of the comments I read was, "There were so many groans in my theater for that," and I was like, I don't get it. So
I mean,
explain that to me.
do you want spoilers or
Oh,
not?
is it like a major spoiler for the first one?
Well, it's not a major spoiler, but it's a major moment in one of the other films.
Oh, okay,
that,
never mind then. Never mind.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Okay.
That I don't really want to spoil for you. But what's really weird is like people were going on about like how often the film says lines from previous Alien films. So there's only 4 times they do it. There's that line, which is the worst offender. It's a groan. But the other 3 lines are said by the robots, which I can rationalize because it's like they're programmed to say that. You know
in
what
this
I mean?
movie?
In this movie,
Okay.
yeah. Rook and David Johnson, they both say lines that are from previous movies.
What were the lines?
One of them is I'm trying to remember. I prefer. He says something like, "I prefer human." What was it? Hold on. I prefer. Blah blah blah. I'm so tired.
Next time we do this, I mean, I know Prague is up. What is it? 4 hours earlier than this, and if it's like a day like this, like Friday, I will wake up and go right back to sleep after this. It's fine. Just let me know.
Yeah. All good. I'm not gonna remember the lines.
Okay,
now.
yeah. But there were a couple lines. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of lines, and
But
the
first one we mentioned, that's the most egregious one.
Yeah, that's the most egregious ones. The other ones I barely noticed because, and I had to look up after and be like, oh, that was a line in Alien? I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
That was a line in Alien? I didn't even realize. Yeah, because, and the reason I feel like it just went by is because they're robots. So those lines are probably just programmed.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why wouldn't they say the same thing in the same situation? You know
right.
what I mean? But it doesn't make sense why Andy would say that line. the egregious one that we were talking about. Like, it makes no sense why he would say that, except for the audience to be like, he said the thing.
He said the line.
He said the thing.
My huge problem with this movie, and we've discussed this in every movie, they've said the word Romulus, but I don't think they said the word alien. So this is not a real movie. Doesn't count.
Did they
said Romulus. Didn't say alien though.
I don't think they ever say alien in any of the Alien movies. I think they
not real
avoid that
movies,
completely.
not a real franchise.
not real franchise.
No,
doesn't exist. You're not going to watch it anymore.
Nope, can't.
Are they all 0 out of 10?
They're all 0 out of 10 for me. You get minus 50 points for not saying your title of the movie. Hard stance on that. Hard stance.
You lose your member very fast.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Okay, so hold on. You've seen this movie, right? Obviously, we've both seen the movie. But you've seen the other movies in the franchise. For me, even like going in my head and like taking out xenomorphs and face huggers and just that kind of thing, I think this movie stands on its own.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering coming from. Like, seeing where 100%.
You felt. Do you think it stands on its own?
I think it does. Aside from those egregious moments, I feel like this could have been a really bad, callback fest. But to me, this felt like, I love Fede Alvarez. I loved his remake of Evil Dead. And I really like Don't Breathe, which is the other horror film he did. I feel like he really wanted to just harken, he wanted to get to the core of what made the first Alien great, and he did so in a way that was inventive. I really like the way I like the way the set design and it felt like a very different. It felt like Alien, but it felt like his Alien. You know, I feel like he put his fingerprints on it, all over it. And I just really like the idea of the like the face huggers. They sense your body heat, so
Yeah.
you have to raise the temperature. And
Mhm.
I really like the idea of what they do with some of the solutions to some of the problems they encounter. Like we talked about the anti-gravity, and I like that it goes to the garbage heap at the end, and they have to like to get rid of the the evil spawn of Satan.
Oh, we even talked about that. That was
Yeah.
gross. That thing was so gross looking.
Oh my god! And crazy thing, that was a practical.
I saw that. I saw that.
Did you saw the behind the scenes?
Yeah,
It's
I saw that.
It's a basketball player, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's David Bobrovsky. He's a basketball player.
Oh,
He's
wow.
huge.
Yeah.
It's just a guy in a suit.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that, but I didn't see the understand the context of it. I was like, oh, it's from the new Aliens, but I was like, I don't, whatever. I'm never seen the movie anyways. But yeah, I saw it's like they're just kind of waiting there. So we're gonna film this next scene. Let's just kind of
he's just chatting.
And like the director's like talking. He's like, yes and that, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is creepy looking. What is this?
I couldn't believe it. I when I first saw the film, I thought it was really good looking CGI. But then I saw the behind the scenes, and it was a real dude in a suit.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that behind the scenes. But yeah, just a disgusting creature design. And what's funny is he looks a bit like the engineers that are in Prometheus. He's got the face is very similar, but at the same time, he's just like this elongated, gross thing. And I love when they do that. Did he have like a? He didn't have genitalia.
He had like a pocket or something. Yeah, a hole. Yeah. I was like, he don't got no dick. Damn, that sucks.
It was like a star-shaped hole in his chest. It was disgusting.
Again, having no context of previous movies, are xenomorphs supposed to be like smart? Because they seem kind of smart.
Yes, yeah, okay, yeah. And the first movie, it's kind of hard to explain because they're like a swarm of bees. They're like, okay, they're kind of. The first movie, you don't see them as a swarm of bees. It's just one alien. But I mean, the movie's just called Alien. But Aliens, it's like a swarm of bees, and there's a queen. But in this, they're tactical. They think about it. Like they have what if one thing doesn't work, they'll go a different route and stuff like that.
That scene where Andy essentially sacrifices that dude's sister. And he's like, I'm not going to open the door. And I was like, you have to open the door. He goes, no, he's waiting for us to open the door. And you just see the alien just in the background, just sitting there looking. And he's like, come on, open the door. Open the door. Because he knew. He's like, come on. It'll take me 2 seconds to get down there. 2 seconds. Open the fucking door.
Yeah, it reminds me of did you know wasps, like bees? If you run from bees, like if you're being chased by a swarm of bees and you go underwater, in a river or something, bees will fly away. But wasps actually will wait for you.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're smart like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It kind of reminds me of that. In a way. But the xenomorph is meant to be like it's described to be the perfect life form.
Yeah.
Because they got acid blood and they basically reproduce by just
But even that creepy fucking monstrosity thing at the end, he seemed kind of smart too, because he could see that she's like trying to drop the cargo thing. And then he just fucking bounces and like comes behind her.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's also because it's part human. So
true, yeah.
It's got a human brain. But the fact that it grew in like
4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah. Which is exactly what the aliens do as well. They grow in about 4 minutes, yeah. Perfect life form. Like, we can't do that. We suck.
We do suck, yeah.
We don't have acid blood that can burn
He went from baby to NBA player in 4 minutes. Crazy.
Literally, like
literally. Did you like the Rain, the main character? Did you like her?
Yeah, I thought she was good. I like that actress a lot. She's really good in Civil War, which came out this year, and she's really good in Priscilla.
Yeah, Flames watched Priscilla like a couple times, and I was like, "That's the same girl from Priscilla," and she's like, oh, "I love that movie."
Oh.
Wait, what? I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah."
yeah.
I was like,
That's
"Wait,
right.
how old is she? She looks like she's 12, and she's like 26 or something." And she's
Yeah.
tiny, man.
But I feel like she gets overshadowed by David Johnson
Yeah,
as
she
Andy.
did.
I feel
She
like
really did.
Andy
Yeah.
is I feel like Andy is the real standout in this film.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah, I thought her
absolutely
performance was good at times, and other
fine.
times it was
Yeah.
kind of like wooden a little bit. But yeah, she was fine.
Yeah, yeah,
But no,
and
yeah, definitely dude play Andy's amazing.
yeah, and I feel like a part of the problem is I feel like part of it she's not even on the main space station for a lot of it. She's
Mhm.
just watching through the monitor, so they don't actually give her a
Yeah.
lot to do for most of it. But I feel like David gets most of the juicy stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he gets to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
what's really
go ahead,
go on,
sorry.
sorry.
Oh,
No,
are we under the same impression that the girl, the one that's pregnant, are we under the same impression that the dad's the dude?
the cousin.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay.
I got those vibes, but I wasn't 100% sure.
That's that's what I thought. Flame thought that, but then he was also like
but he was into
the bald headed girl. Yeah,
bald-headed girl, yeah.
yeah.
But
I was
like
like,
you could kind of, but they were like looking at each other, sort of
yeah.
thing, like kind of guilty, like, and
I was like, come on, man, come on.
and the way she explained it, like she said it because the main girl asked her who the
Yeah,
father is,
who the father? Yeah, she's like,
and
she's some asshole.
like,
Yeah,
some asshole, and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah. Because I was like, oh, it's that guy. But then she didn't, she didn't say it. And then
Specifically,
Rain
yeah.
didn't even, go, oh, him or whatever. Like she didn't say anything. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it could be anybody, I guess. But then when he comes and like somewhat saves her, or like just kind of appears before he dies, they give like a look, and it's like, I don't know.
It's very and I kind of like that. I like that it's very subtle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like that it kind of makes you go, is that? And another interesting tidbit. What was so I know you hate The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
I know
what you're saying. Yeah, she's gonna be the character.
No, but what's
Oh.
really interesting is Fede Alvarez was playing the game when he was writing Alien Romulus. He
Oh, was
confirmed
he?
this on Twitter. Yeah, and he said he liked the idea that Dean is pregnant, and so he was going to write. So he wrote a pregnant character in Alien Romulus. Like he was inspired by The Last of Us Part 2 while he was playing it. And then he cast Isabella Merced in the role. And then about 6 months later, she was cast as Dina in The Last of Us, like completely separate.
Yeah, like I had seen that name before. I was like, I don't know where that name's from. And then like I was like, oh, she's in a different movie. And then I looked at like her credits, like, oh, she's gonna be Last of Us. Oh, she's gonna be Dina. Oh, she's replacing a Jewish. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I guess we're just Jewish swapping things out now. I guess
we go from Jewish to Mexican. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess we're doing that now. But yeah,
was Joel Jewish? He wasn't, was he?
No, Joel wasn't. Nope. But Dina was.
Yeah, I know that.
They swapped out all the Jews for Mexican.
No, but they just swap all the characters. For
I might as well. Whatever. But yeah,
but
her. I mean, she wasn't in the movie that much, but her performance was okay.
People reckon she has the best scream of the year for sure. Because I felt like her scream in this movie.
Yeah.
It was like,
you know what? For some reason, right before she screamed, I don't know why this popped in my head. I was like, she's gonna scream and there's gonna be no sound coming out. I don't know why I thought that.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. I was like, oh, it's loud. Oh god.
Yeah. Because they weren't in the vacuum of space at that point. I don't think you can even like breathe air out.
Right. Yeah.
In the vacuum of space,
be screaming in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the idea of in space, no one can hear you scream. It's like even if you scream in the space station, no one's going to hear you.
Yeah.
Outside it. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I think when I reviewed it on Letterboxd, I gave it a 4 out of 5. So I think I'd give it an 80 out of 100. Okay. I definitely recommend it. Even if, I mean, I can't really say this because I've seen all the Alien films, but I think even if you haven't seen all the Alien films, it might get you into the franchise if you go in.
Before I give my review and take on it, I want to bring this part up because Flame brought it up and it made me laugh during the movie. At the very beginning when they showed the ship and it's like, you know, like it's just all black, and then they show the ship coming into view and they start playing like some weird music. It's like little beeps and boops. She's like, what is this, Star Wars? Because it sounded like Star Wars. And I was like, it does sound like Star Wars. What the fuck?
Yeah, the soundtrack was very John Williams at the start. Yeah, I agree. I remember watching. I really liked the intro. Like how because they take the alien
The
like
rock,
on board. Yeah, the rock that has the alien in it. Yeah, I really like that intro. My question is, where did the facehuggers come from? Who laid those eggs? I don't understand.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, you'd have to watch Aliens to understand.
Yeah.
But, the eggs are only birthed by the queen, and they didn't bring a queen on board. So so where'd the facehuggers come from? Answer me, Fox.
But
answer me.
I want answers right now. But the facehuggers, do they actually birth from like an actual egg?
Yes, they come out of an egg.
But all these ones were like caught in like caught in test tube essentially.
Yeah. So I don't know.
A whole bunch of them.
Maybe they I don't know.
Maybe they replicated them.
They IVF'd them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But they didn't know the queen existed at that point.
True.
So all they had was that one alien. So we'll never know.
Yeah, this movie actually does what you just brought up. It makes me want to watch the other ones.
Good.
I'm like yearning for more. You know?
Yeah. Good.
Because like xenomorphs on the surface just look fucking cool. You know?
Yeah. I mean, HR Geiger, he was cooking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, HR Geiger's crazy.
Yeah. He was cooking. I think the design of Alien and the xenomorphs was originally going to be. I mean, there's a whole documentary about Jodorowsky's Dune. Have you?
I've heard.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Alejandro Jodorowsky was making Dune, and he got H.R. Geiger to do a lot of concept art for Dune. I can't remember if it was like the sandworms or something, but just like some of the designs then got used for Alien instead. Okay. Moved to Alien because that project fell apart. So you have Jodorowsky's Dune to thank for the xenomorphs, which are now like iconic. You know what I mean? So,
do they show how gross it is when they pull the face huggers off of people in other movies?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, ugh.
Dude, some of these movies go wild. Wait until you see Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Like some of the stuff in those movies are just bloody gross. Dude.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Awesome. It's awesome.
But yeah, I definitely want to see the other Alien movies. It's cool. I thought this movie was good. I didn't think it was that great. There are a lot of cool parts to it. So I definitely recommend seeing this movie, especially in theaters. It was pretty cool seeing it in theaters. I'd probably rate it like a 70, 75, maybe.
75? That's good. Yeah. That's a good score.
Movie,
I mean, I just love it because it just felt like as soon as they're in the red room, it's just like unflinching until the end of the film. Like it just
felt like how accessible this movie is, not knowing, anything.
Yeah, I feel like if you went into Prometheus, you would just be like, what the fuck am I watching? I don't understand any of this and how this is related to anything. But I feel like this movie does a really good job of just being a nice, tight, contained sci-fi thriller. On its own. Yeah, I think it does a really good job. Yeah, thanks for talking to me about this. I wanted to get all of this off my chest. I've been waiting. Wonder what the next film
our next what is this? Break the movies is going to be the Joker Part 2.
Joker 2. The reviews for that have been scathing. Have you seen?
Yeah, I've seen the reviews. Yeah.
I'm a little bit shocked. I thought
it's pretty crazy because
it's going to be good.
I saw two contrasting reviews. Right behind next to each other, it was hilarious because they said completely opposite things. Like one guy was like, Todd Howard, what is it? Todd Phillips. Todd Howard's the director now from Bethesda. Todd Phillips cannot get out of his He cannot get out of his own way. He can't make sequels. He played it way too safe. And then I read the next review and he was like,
This guy
Todd
goes
Howard,
balls to the wall.
he goes, he took so many risks. And I was like, which one is it? It was so fucking funny. I read like 10 reviews. They were all like, they were all so contradicting. I was like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
I've hated the way they promoted this film. I've hated like the actors have been talking about how it's not a musical. It's just the characters don't know how to express their feelings, so they express it in song. And I'm like, that's exactly what a musical is.
Yeah. So okay, so
this isn't a Joker movie. It's just a guy
that it was a musical. And then I had heard similar things where they're like, it's not really singing; they're more like talking, singing. And I'm like, what is happening? What is it?
And they're like, this isn't like Todd Phillips. I think at some point, like, this isn't really a Joker movie. It's about a guy that loses his mind because of the society around him. I'm like, that's what the Joker's about. That's his entire thing. It's like they feel embarrassed to be making.
Yeah, it's like, did he get like negative feedback on the screeners, and it's just too late now? And he's like, people didn't like this musical. It's not really a musical, you know.
To me, the vibe that I get is that, like, Todd Phillips, to me, like, I've seen him in interviews and stuff. Like, he comes across as a guy that is really insecure about being goofy. Like, I feel like, I mean, he's a comedy director, but the way he talks about his comedy films is like their art, you know, like like he talks about, when you watch him talk about the Hangover films, he's like, yeah, we really wanted to capture the themes, and like, you get what I'm saying. He's very like auteur about it, and I think that's really weird.
That is weird.
I feel like he doesn't want to get goofy with it. He doesn't want to admit he's making a Joker movie. He's making a DC Comics Joker movie. He's making a musical, which is goofy, you know.
I've heard the performances are really good.
Yeah, but like, some people are saying that Lady Gaga is underused, and then other people are saying Lady Gaga is like incredible in it. So I'm like, which is it?
And then I've heard that it was like they have no chemistry, and I was like, and then Joaquin Phoenix does a better job than he did in the first one. And I was like, what is happening? Can someone just sit in the middle and just give me a straight fucking answer?
Yeah. All right, I need to go to bed because I need to go to work.
We're live tomorrow.
Yes,
we're watching that Bob Dylan movie. I'm not there.
No, we're not live tomorrow. We're live. Well,
tomorrow.
For me, it's
for me, it's tomorrow. For me, it's tomorrow.
Saturday.
For me, Saturday.
For me, it's Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, Sunday. Okay.
Sunday morning for me.
And the movie is I'm Not There. What is this?
I'm Not There. Yeah.
I'm Not There. Okay.
Todd Haynes is I'm Not There. Basically just because there's a new Bob Dylan movie coming out, and
right.
I want us to watch the good one before this one isn't good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But maybe it will be good. Who knows? I think his voice sounds incredible. Like, I was shocked how good the voice sounds. But
I think it's a recording. No,
it's not. It's
him singing.
It's Timothée Chalamet singing. Yeah.
God, I hate Timothée Chalamet.
But his so voice sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you don't like good actors.
Oh my god. Have you heard of Will Ferrell? Maybe you haven't.
Will Ferrell's great. You know, Prag reminds me of Will Ferrell a lot. Do you get those vibes?
I see it.
Do you
I
feel
see
it? You see it? Yeah,
I see it 100%.
He's not going to watch this. So.
No. He was here for like 2 seconds and he dipped.
Then he said bye.
Yeah.
All right. We can thank you for talking to me about Alien Romulus.
What a pleasure.
Wait for the next film that we talk about.
Yes. Thank you everybody for hanging out.
Friday night / Friday morning.
That's right. All right. Bye.
Bye. Well done.